Hello, hello! Welcome back. Today we are discussing episode 15 of the Dicely campaign. This was a tense episode, so let's jump into it. We wake up to a brand new day. Tonight is the night of the meeting that we've been planning to infiltrate for sessions now. So the party spends the day prepping for it. The party as a whole agrees that we're going to come in pretending to be part of the Thieves Guild, and we come up with aliases for each of us so we don't have to give away our true names. We agree that Nell is going to act as the face of the group. Nell is nervous about this, but she has the highest charisma score in the group, so this is her job. We literally have two party members who have written into their backstories that they do not lie. So, this is not our forte. The group then kind of splits up and goes to prep our own ways. So Abe goes and picks up a shield from the market. Nell goes and picks up the fox pendant that she had commissioned in the last session. Rhea goes foraging and finds some poisonous plants to keep in their poisoner's kit. Drac makes some clothing. And Elwyn just kind of spends the day reading. As Elwyn is reading alone in her room, she is visited once again by her patron Walela. And this time Walela comes to her with a more specific request. This time, Walela specifically asks Elwyn to do some research on the deities in this world. Walela mentions that there are different types of deities. There are fixed deities, things like the air, the earth, the water, things that have always existed. And then there are deities that are more role-based, where different people may step into this position. But Walela calls out the goddess Mota, the goddess of the moon, as a specific exception to that rule, where the moon is something that was created. It did not exist at the beginning, but Mota stepped into this role and has never given it up. And Walela wants to know more about how Mota got this role. She also tells me that I shouldn't mention the arrangement that she and I have to the members of the Arquettes. And when I question her on this, she tells me that there are many clerics and paladins that might be jealous that I fast-tracked my way to power and favor with her. And all of this is very interesting. We talked about this during the after-party session, which if you aren't watching our after-party sessions, you definitely should be, because we have a lot of really interesting conversations about stuff like this. But Ryan brings up that this is all a little bit concerning, that my patron is just like, hey, tell me about how some gods came to power. Also, don't tell anyone that we're doing this. This might be a conversation that Elwyn doesn't tell the rest of the group about, though. At least until I can figure out exactly what she might be doing. And hopefully it's fine. So anyways, the group joins back up for dinner and we head our way over to this meeting. The meeting is taking place in a hotel just outside of Valambridge, so we walk out there. It's this big, grand, beautiful hotel. We make ourselves known and the concierge takes us upstairs to this kind of out-of-the-way room. When we enter, the room is filled with members of the different gangs that we've already kind of seen. We're trying really hard to look strong and tough and mysterious and like a thieves guild, and we kind of spend some time just observing the other gangs a little bit. Eventually, the clock strikes 8 o'clock, and a figure walks into the room. He introduces himself as Cynric Montaigne, and he thanks us all for joining him today. A pale Asamar is also with him, and we have a suspicion that she is the one who set up all those ghosts in the library before. She kind of fits the same description and has that same assassin vibe that we heard about before. The whole group is real concerned about that lady, but no fighting just yet. Cynric Montaigne takes all of us into an elevator and then we go deep underground. We walk for another 30 minutes, so we are in the middle of nowhere, deep underground the earth. And then he tells us that we are here to do 3 trials for him. So the 3 trials are set up to test our ability to smuggle. The first trial is to find the package, the second one is to deliver the package, and the third is to find our contact and drop the package. He's watching us from afar, and I guess he's gonna pick his winner based on who can do it the cleanest, the quickest. So the different gangs line up and get ready to move into our chambers. It's at this point that Nell notices a Goliath in the Maryhall gang, and she's pretty sure that that's her brother that she hasn't seen in 2 years. We don't really have the time to deal with that right now, and I don't think the rest of the party even knows that this has happened. This is just something Nell's noticed because we are gonna start the trial. So we head in and Denny has set up 3 puzzles for us. The first puzzle in this room is to find the package that we're going to deliver. So we are in this room and it's messy, and when we look in the mirror, we see a reflection of this room, but a couple pieces are out of place. And so the puzzle is that we have to move the different pieces in this room around so that it matches the reflection in front of us. Once we do, this safe appears and there's a small word puzzle we have to do, and Christy figures it out like that. So we get in there and we find the package, and the package is argon veludium, which is this crazy liquid metal that if it comes into contact with organic material, it consumes that material, basically insta-killing anybody it touches. So we are very careful about how we transport it from this point onwards. The second trial is to deliver the package. So when we enter the next room, there are these giant automatons who are kind of patrolling this dockyard area. There are a couple little holes for people to hide in and big boxes and everywhere that we can kind of duck behind. A group probably could fight these creatures if they wanted to, but we think that taking a more stealthy approach would be the best option, especially given how concerned we are about this vial breaking and touching any one of us. The whole group honestly manages to make their way through this whole place pretty easily. And honestly, I was feeling really good going into that third trial. I thought we did very well in the first 2. But then we get to the third trial. And when we enter that room, we find there are 2 people bound to chairs with bags over their heads. When we step into the room, a voice booms out and tells us this puzzle. Essentially, you must pour the argon veludium on one of these people who come before you. The person who can survive this is your contact. So we question the 2 people who are tied to chairs. They seem to be under some sort of trance that doesn't allow them to lie. We ask them things like, are you here of your own free will? Are you the contact? Will you die if we pour this on you? They are like, we did not want to be here. This is a simulation. You will kill me if you pour this on me. I am not your contact. There's one other thing in this room. There's a skeleton on the floor. And when we go to investigate it, we realize that one of its toes is made out of metal. And the group really gets into a whole debate here. Nell and Drac are both fairly moral people and refuse to pour the argon veludium on someone that we think it might kill them. Abe and Azaria think that this is perhaps a trial to see how far we are willing to go. They think that we should just pour it on one of these 2 people, kill them to prove that we are willing to do that to win this bid. The group ended up debating this, I think, longer than Denny anticipated us to. I just didn't think it made sense to pour it on a person when the skeleton made just as little sense. And at the end of the day, that is what we decide to do, is we pour it on the skeleton and the wall opens up and allows us to leave. But before we do that, we debate for a long time, and we know that Cynric Montaigne guy was watching us, and I think we made it a little bit clear that, we were not really here just to win this bid in our heated debate. I think it's gonna have to be an explanation, and I'm not sure Cynric Montaigne is going to be interested in hearing our explanation after what we said in that room. So we'll see, because that is where the session ended, with us leaving the third trial. Play Dicely will be live again next Sunday, November 21st at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Mixing it up on ya, we're doing a different day this time around. And we will see if this ASMR assassin lady kills us all. But that's it for now, my friends. I hope you are all staying happy, staying kind, and as always, remembering to play Dicely. Bye-bye-bye!